might have, I 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 might have, the dating simulator of Rain World. Yeah. Which direction do you head? I'm gonna head south. To the south, you approach a land of waste and ruins. The scattered byproducts of bygone eras lie strewn across the landscape in mounds that resemble artificial hills and mountains. You proceed further. Suddenly, in the distance, you see a crimson-colored slugcat. She is aggressive and seems to have the ability to create explosions from her body and propel herself with the shockwaves. She is a mother slugcat who is grieving the loss of her children. Regardless, she is your only hope of continuing your lineage. You must choose to approach her carefully, or else she'll flee due to being terrified and grief-stricken. Throw the egg at her. You fling the explosive egg at her in an attempt to subdue her. The egg shatters and hits the ground, instantly beginning to generate a space-time singularity. The other slugcat creates her own explosion, parrying the egg back towards you. You try to run away, but the shockwave explosion slams into you, hurting you severely. You die on the floor, dying. You lie on the floor, dying, as the other slugcat looks at you with pity. She utters a few last words. I am sorry, but you should have known better to mess with a mother slugcat on the hunt. Restart. Okay, I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna sneak up on her. You remain silent and hidden among the tall blades of grass, slowly approaching the mother slugcat. Your body is shaking nervously and your eye is twitching. Your efforts of remaining unseen are in vain. The mother slugcat looks directly at you. You feel your heart pounding as she stares into your eyes. She lets out a loud hiss, jumping backwards in exaggerated fashion. She is scared of you, just as you are of her. It seems you share a tragic bond. Both of you are lonely individuals. You blush at her. You giggle at her exaggerated jump. And blush, and she stares at you angrily. She begins heading away from you, and your despair wells up inside you. It's your last chance, and you have to take it now. I know what you really need. You say this, as she looks at you. What could you possibly know about me? She asks. You're lonely. She looks away sadly, and her body begins shaking. She stumbles backwards and falls over into the ground. With a gasp, she says, You understand me perfectly. She begins crying loudly. And you sit by her. You stroke her face with your long, slimy fingers. And she stops crying. You need an egg. You take out the egg you've been carrying around and give it to her. She accepts it, and her eyes brighten up. With a smile on her face and the egg in her hands, she sits down. She places it in her mouth and coats it with a transformative bacteria. She spits it out. She spits it back out and places it on the ground. The egg begins to glow out in a bright light. She steps back and stares at it, and the egg begins to transform. Figures emerge from the light. What did you just do? Mother, we are reborn. We have been reintroduced to the existence. We are a family now. The new creatures look like the mother slugcat, and she is happy. She hugs the figures, and they embrace her back. You feel like you have finally done something right, and you have. Goodbye, loneliness. Goodbye, sadness. Hello, family. You walk towards the figures emerging from the light, and they embrace you. Their slimy bodies feel warm to the touch, and you feel tears escape from your eyes. You have never felt so loved in your whole life. You enter the light as a family. I just think I'm gonna go north now. You turn to the north, towards the land of towering structures that pierce the heavens. You traverse the rocky, hilly fields as you avoid the large predators that roam this area. It is here where you hope to find a mate, even if they even exist in this strange place. You spot a strange slugcat climbing one of the towers, unlike you've seen before. It has no mouth which to eat or speak with. It is able to generate spiky, bone-like protrusions from its tail. It does not react when it notices you, giving you a good view of it. Fascinating. Do you approach it? See if it is your compatible either as a mate or a food resource? Yes. You approach the strange... It looks so skinny. You approach the strange slugcat cautiously, watching it as it climbs to the top of the tower. You're not sure what it is doing, but you hope that it is another slugcat. Maybe you could have a conversation, or whatever slugcats do. You call out to it, but it doesn't react. Perhaps it is deaf or cannot hear you. You begin to wave your hands in an effort to get its attention. The rock hits their head, and they stare back at you in annoyance. Can't you tell I'm trying to ignore you? I already have to suffer through being the protagonist of the first more slugcat dating sim. Please don't drag me into this again. You don't really follow the conversation and only stare back in confusion. What? The other slugcat rubs their fingers into their forehead in frustration. We even decided to make another one of these. All this time, people have been waiting for more slugcats to release. What will they think when they learn that 3.5 years of the entire development time was spent solely on developing this dating simulator? Look, just come on over here and kiss me already. Let's get this over with. Kiss you, but you don't have a mouth. I used to have a mouth back in the first more slugcats version. I used to be able to swallow and regurgitate spears. Isn't that romantic? You blushed. Yeah, that certainly is something. But now look how they nerfed me. Unbelievable. Spearmaster abruptly stabs his spear deep into the wall with a tremendous amount of force. It's a bit terrifying. How are you even talking to me right now? But I don't need a knock for that. I vocalized out of my tail. You stare at the holes in their tail, both fascinated and repulsed by the question of biology. Sharing their frustration. I kind of get what it feels to be like nerfed, to be honest. He pat Spearmaster on the shoulder. I gotta eat so much food to hibernate, it's just dumb. They even removed me from arena mode. What the heck? Yeah, I guess you have it rough as well. These developers hate us. Spearmaster looks at you with deep understanding. Honestly, I had a rumor they were going to remove me from the game entirely. Absolutely sadistic. Give Spearmaster a hug. It's okay. You slugcats need to stick together. I love you, baby. You wipe the tears out of Spearmaster's eyes. Thank you. I really need to hear that, Spearmaster says. But speaking of nerfed, I'm hungry and I need to find nutrients to siphon with my spears. Spearmaster generates a fresh spear out of the tail and looks at it with admiration. What about me? You need food too. No, I mean, you can siphon my nutrients with your spears. What? It's okay. You want me to stab you? You'll die, please. Man, whatever. I don't have time for this. The rain is gonna come soon. Spearmaster takes the spear and chucks it at your torso. It's not a pleasant experience, and you quickly lose consciousness. Your nutrients leave your body. You travel to the west, towards a very overgrown section of the world. The world was once filled with many amazing things, and vegetation was one of them. By traveling to the west, you are searching towards a place that is going face to face. As you make your way up a hill, you see a large, hefty slugcat who seems to have no problem maintaining their diet in this challenging world. As you watch, you notice that they seem to have the ability to generate infinite objects by regurgitating them from their stomach. You approach carefully, unsure of whether to attack or to speak to them. Pick up a rock and greet them. You cautiously move forward, staying low on the ground. You approach the large slugcat slowly, unsure of how they will react. As you yell close, I just got fucking crushed. Can I try that again? Pick up a rock and throw it at them. You pick up a small rock and throw it at the hefty slugcat. It bounces off their fat exterior, completely unfazed. The hefty slugcat stares at you, narrowing their eyes. You widen your eyes and begin to sweat profusely, preparing for the hefty slugcat's retaliation. The hefty slugcat walks towards you, raises a tiny stubby arm and pokes you from the forehead. I wasn't expecting to see someone out here. You're not from my colony, right? They ask. No, I'm looking for another slugcat to be my mate, oh well, you say. Ah, so that's it. I can tell by the way you said it, it's not an easy thing for you to say. Things have been tough lately, haven't they? Tough? Nah, I'm a pro gamer. The hefty slugcat stares at you, chins wobbling. You're a pro gamer? You nod. The hefty slugcat stares at you, seemingly in thought. A pro gamer, huh? I've never heard that one before. I've heard plenty of others, but that's a new one. It's true, though. The hefty slugcat stares at you, puts a finger to their chin. I'm afraid a liar is all I see before me. Liars have been known to make the most insane of claims. Your heart rate increases. You've never been great under pressure. I'm not a liar. Nah, check this. They call this a pro gamer move. You throw your egg by your feet and prepare to use a gravity manipulation strat, then fling yourself super far with a singularity. Perform your frame perfect input. You pounce to the edge of the singularity's gravity field and slide cancel backwards into the outer 5% of the shockwave's radius. You were 2 pixels off, however, and immediately get sucked into the core of this singularity. Every atom in your body is jostled as you become extremely dead. Let's try this one more time. What if I spear flash through the air and they look at it and they look at you. You back up slowly, unsure of what they will do. They pick up the spear, sniff it, and then throw it at you. You try to duck, get hit in the leg. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you would catch it. The heavy slugcat says, run towards you. What? A spear? I threw it so you would catch it. I didn't even hit you. You stare at them in disbelief. Hold your leg in pain. It looks like what the fuck? So slugcat runs towards you. They trip over their own feet and their entire body weight falls on top of you. You hear a loud crunch as your vision goes black. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. The hefty slugcat is cut off as the egg-like object in your hand explodes, killing you both instantly. Okay, one more time. Okay, it's been so tough. It has? Tell me, have you been hurt at all? The hefty slugcat asks. I'm just always in danger. Ah, I can respect that. The world we live in is a harsh one, and it's rare to find someone who can put up with that kind of lifestyle. Suddenly, 3 red lizards and a giant red centipede emerge over the hill. The hefty slugcat looks at them, and the rage fills his eyes. See, this is exactly what I'm saying. How can I put this? The hefty slugcat says. I think you may be cursed. What? I'm not cursed. I'm just unlucky, you say. Like, if there's such a thing as destiny, whoever was responsible for designing your fate legitimately hates you. Stupid, you say. Is it? Tell me, have you ever had a happy moment in your life? The hefty slugcat asks. No? Exactly. You're destined to suffer, and it's only natural you had difficulty finding love. That's cool and stuff, but we're kind of surrounded. The hefty slugcat looks behind you. You follow their gaze and see that the 3 red lizards and the giant red centipede have surrounded you. Go ahead and fight them. I'm a peace-loving slugcat. Fighting isn't really my thing. The hefty slugcat says. You sigh and turn to face the enemies behind you. The 3 lizards hiss and growl, flashing their teeth. Before you get a chance to do anything, you're covered by their spit while they quickly maul you to death. One more time. I'm lonely. I hear that. Things have been getting worse for us lately, haven't they? It's been tough for myself as well. Hefty slugcat says. Really? You're huge and have like infinity supplies. How are you lonely? You ask. I can procure many things for my stomach, but love is not one of them. Hefty slugcat sighs and sits near you. You realize the ground is wet, but you sit as well. Give them a hug. You try to wrap your arms around the hefty slugcat's large exterior, but your arms cannot reach all the way around. The hefty slugcat laughs and says, "You're cute." You're not sure how to respond, so you laugh nervously. The hefty slugcat is just standing there laughing. You're really warm. You try. You say, try to think of something to say. Yeah, I suppose I am. The hefty slugcat says, and begins laughing again. Neither of you know what to say, so you sit in silence for a while. What are you doing out here right now? Gathering food and supplies for my colony. Do you have a whole colony? Yeah, of course. We're not all loners like you. How big we talking? I'd say about 30 or 40, give or take a few. Whoa! Out of all of them, I want to be with you. The hefty slugcat looks at you with the strangest look in their eye. Are you sure that's what you want? Yes, I've never been this sure of anything in my life. With that, the hefty slugcat smiles. Alright then. As long as you're sure about this, let's do it. You nod your head. This is the happiest moment of your life. Take their hand and go somewhere private. Someplace private, I mean. Walk with the hefty slugcat. Hand in hand. You're both excited. Inside. This is what you've been waiting for. Once you reach someplace private, they stop and start making a bonfire. You stare at them confused. What are you doing? Weren't you inviting me for a private dinner? Oh yeah, of course! You say, laughing nervously. You start coughing. Sorry, I just said you start coughing. Sorry, the cough. You stare at them worried. What should I make for us to eat? I have this egg. You take out the egg from your pouch and you offer it to the hefty slugcat. They smile and begin grinning from ear to ear. You brought me food? They say, yeah, you want it? You ask nervously. Yes, I want it. Give it to me. They begin heating the egg over the fire, making scrambled eggs. How did you know I love eggs? The hefty slugcat asks, beaming. You stare at them, still nervous and unsure what to say. I don't know. You watch them cook. As the egg cooks, reality seems to begin to bend around the resultant food product. Time seems to warp, and you watch as steam rises as if in slow motion. It's as if salt, pepper, and heat in the fire all bend space and time to reach a primordial state of deliciousness. You stare at the hefty slugcat with bewilderment, but your mouth can't help but salivate. With a sudden primal hunger, the other slugcat greedily consumes all of the egg. The body begins to glow and levitate, and infinite matter begins to radiate from their mouth. You shield your eyes. The light is blinding. It is as if it has consumed everything. Out of the singular point of the slugcat's mouth, subatomic particles rain. They combine into atoms, and then into more complex elements and matter. Slowly, the light begins to consolidate into a dim afterglow. You open your eyes. A cycle has been completed. A new universe has been born. You have a lot of work to do.